Season's greetings to all. I'm Magnus, and welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk about something I feel is really important for anyone practicing magic. This is something I feel even if you consider yourself super love and light, you still need to take this seriously, and that is protection. Being love and light, or just a good witch or magician, a healer, you still need to protect yourself. So I was thinking about what Samhain or Halloween video I could do for this season and wondering if I should just do what everyone else is doing, which is tell you what Samhain is for the 100th time, or give you some rituals or spells for Samhain. But I thought of something better. During this season and the seasons to come, you find a lot of people becoming more depressed, they become more irritable. You'll find that things start triggering them a lot more. Since the veil between worlds is thin, spirits start messing with people. And this to me creates a snowball effect. Because if spirits mess with you, then you start projecting or laying that negative energy onto other people. And they do the same to other people. No matter how peaceful you deem yourself to be, negative energy is still going to latch itself onto you, whether it's from a spirit, demon, or another human being, which is usually the case from other human beings. People give, receive, and exchange energy with each other every single day. So as magical practitioners, we have to first know how to protect ourselves from those energies that want to latch themselves onto us. So that will be the first lesson for this video series of my own little defense against the dark arts or protection/battle magic series. Knowing how to banish is super important. As I said before, we have a bunch of bad energy we come into contact with every day from multiple sources. This energy affects you in ways that can mess with your mental health and well-being. You try to work out, or as a better example, you try to work on a project or study something, but your mind starts thinking about one bad incident from earlier or some time ago, and you find yourself getting worked up. And now you can't concentrate on anything else besides that situation, and it starts reminding you of other negative situations you've experienced, and all that pain, sadness, and anger and hurt comes rushing back over you. Luckily, there are ways to get more in control of your mind and emotions, and that's through banishing. Banishing, depending on which ritual you use, is an effective way to get rid of those negative thoughts, feelings, and energies. You'll find yourself not really being bothered by those thoughts and emotions, and even if you suffer from depression, you'll start realizing that having one of those really dark days seems to be a thing of the past, because you have them less and less the more you keep up your banishing rituals. Banishing is also useful to do before a spell or ritual to kick out any energies or spirits that might interfere with the spell you are about to do. It clears your area, purifies your space so that you have a clean slate to manifest what you want without anything coming to mess it up. And banishing, again, depending on which ritual you do, is a great way to boost your magical ability. Rituals like the LBRP Lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram really strengthen your focus and ability to use your imagination. You can't just stand up and say words and expect that everything will be fine and dandy. No, this is almost like Qigong or Tai Chi, which is considered a moving meditation. Banishing is going to teach you how to control your mind, at least for the time being, and the better you can control your mind and focus your imagination, the stronger your spells and magical abilities will become. Now, before I go into this, I do want to stress that if you, like me and millions of other people, have suffered through depression or are suffering through depression doesn't really go away, but I want to stress that if you have the funds to afford talking to a therapist or a psychiatrist, then by all means do so. But if you can't really afford to, then in my opinion, doing a daily or weekly banishing ritual is the best thing you can do if you aren't able to release your daily frustrations by talking to someone. Now, I personally know about 3 banishing rituals, and I'll talk a little bit about those in this video, but There are many systems of magic, and they all have some form of banishing ritual, so I'd suggest doing some research on your own and deciding which one is best for you. Now, the 3 banishings I'll share with you today are the LBRP, or Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, the Star Ruby Ritual, and the Sword Banishing Ritual. I'm starting with the LBRP first because it's the ritual that I perform every day and also appears to be the more well-known and practiced ritual. This ritual was created by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and is a ritual that has withstood the test of time. Now, this ritual at first glance will seem like a lot. It does take some time to learn and memorize, like many ceremonial rituals do, but once you learn it, it won't even take you more than 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast or slow you go. The LBRP teaches you how to gather energy from the universe or the divine source and direct it in the 4 corners. It's good practice for energy work. During this ritual, you'll be invoking Hebrew names of God and angels. But before you turn off the video, hear me out first. A lot of people mistake the LBRP as a Christian ritual and run away when they hear the word angel. I can assure you, even black magicians practice this ritual, as well as pagan witches. This ritual has more elements from the Kabbalah, and the invoking of the angels, you have to understand, are calling forces that are older than Christianity. Angels themselves are older than our view of Christianity, so trust me, I was a little thrown off at first when I learned this ritual, but I got over it and I'm not a Christian. The angels are more like the spirit or embodiment of the 4 elements, so this ritual will seem like a witchcraft ritual that makes a circle and calls on the 4 elements in the 4 corners, but the angels are the representation of these elements. Now, you may stop the video and just say, oh, well, if it's like casting a circle ritual that we have in witchcraft, then what's the point of doing it if I can just do something else a lot easier? That's because the LBRP does so much more than just banishing. As I said before, this ritual strengthens your focus and imagination. It keeps your mental health in check. In the book Modern Magic that I learned this ritual from, it mentions that it strengthens your rapport with people, and it helps make you more likable and trustworthy. And I gotta say, I felt those effects. People became a lot easier to deal with, despite me being a super introvert. This ritual also creates a microcosm, or mini-universe within the macrocosm, our greater universe. Many people have said this ritual allows you to become God or godlike, since God is the creator of the universe and you are creating a mini-universe of your own. I cannot stress how powerful this ritual is, and I can't go into the other benefits it has in detail because the video would be way too long, but I highly recommend the LBRP, at least for me, above other rituals. Now, moving on, we have the Star Ruby, which was created by Aleister Crowley, who is also the father of the religion and magical system Thelema. Now, I'm gonna admit my ignorance right here and now. I'm not a Thalamite, so please forgive me if I got anything wrong about the Star Ruby, or if there is something that I missed. The Star Ruby is shorter in length than the LBRP, and will seem similar to the LBRP, but instead of the majority of the words of power and Hebrew names of God and angels being spoken, this ritual uses more Greek and Egyptian influences and gods. I'd say more Greek influences and names based off of what I was reading on how this ritual is performed. A lot of people have said that it is just a shorter Thelema version of the LBRP, but on doing more research, despite both rituals doing basically the same thing, which is banishing, the Star Ruby's symbolism and names spoken have a different purpose than the names and symbolism used in the LBRP. This isn't just an altered LBRP, but a very well thought out ritual that just follows the same structure of the LBRP. Also, the physical actions you do during the Star Ruby differ from the LBRP. So if you feel this is the banishing ritual for you, please feel free to research and try it out. And the last banishing ritual I'll share in this video is the Sword Banishing Ritual, which you can learn from Damon Brand's book Protection Magic. A very, very good book on protection magic. By the way, you may see me bring up this book in the future videos. Now, the sword banishing ritual, I'll say, is the shortest banishing ritual of the three, and from what I've read, once you properly learn this ritual, you can do this without speaking any words at all. One of the pluses about this ritual is that it's short length, and being able to do this without speaking words means that it can be done even if you're at work, at your desk, or lying down in your bed. I kid you not, it's that short. Like the LBRP, though, the sword banishing ritual uses names of angels and has you imagine these angels in different forms. But these aren't the same angels in the LBRP, and the forms are different as well. Now, the LBRP and the Star Ruby are pretty much the same every time you do them. The sword banishing ritual, however, is a bit different because before doing the main ritual, you have to do an activation ritual for the main ritual. But the activation is done only once. Then you never have to worry about it again, and it's also very, very short. In the activation, you are calling on names of other angels to make them aware of your call so that they can assist you in any banishings you'll perform from that point on. Now, some things to remember with these banishings: again, the symbolism and names you invoke won't make these energies angry at you if you don't follow a certain religion or doctrine. Again, the angels in the LBRP don't belong exclusively to Christianity, so please, please don't worry too much about them when you perform these rituals. You can be a pagan and do these rituals, it's fine. Also, you don't have to scream or speak in a loud voice when you do the LBRP and the sword banishing ritual. You can do these rituals in a whisper. The Star Ruby is a bit different, however, because I've seen demonstrations online, and in certain parts they straight up shout the names. Now, banishings can be done at any time, and whatever time works for you. I'm kind of busy throughout the day, so I do my banishings and other rituals before going to bed. The LBRP, like the sword banishing ritual, is actually encouraged to be tried just like the sword banishing ritual, in bed, like a meditation practice. So if you're sick or injured, you can still protect yourself. Again, I'm not too sure about the Star Ruby because of the demonstrations I saw, but if there are any Thalamites watching, feel free to mention if the Star Ruby can be done sitting or lying down, in a whisper, or in your bed. I would greatly appreciate that. And that's it for the first video on Defense Against the Dark Arts. I will be working on the next lesson as soon as possible. There may be a different video before that, but I promise it will be made ASAP. So with that, I hope everyone stays protected and safe this upcoming Samhain or Halloween. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Blessed be.